All right, we're live.
Welcome back, y'all. We've been out for a while due to technical difficulties.
Yes, technical difficulties has been a thing, guys.
We are back.
We are back
This is the FatherSon podcast.
in a
And
mosaic. Tuning in.
today we're going to cover what I like to call the exchange rate. About a young man out here, I'd like to intro and preface this conversation by saying that a lot of young men do not understand the change rate that they're getting, with the exchange rate for what they're getting into when they start Western dating. Western involved with a Western woman. You find yourself involved in something called an exchange rate. What is the exchange rate, you say? Well, you guys are constantly talking about it, but you're not putting the diametrical math. So in the red pill community, you guys are always saying, well, what do you bring to the table? Well, if you got to keep asking her, you're in deep shit. Let me start off by saying that, because you should already know what an exchange rate is. And when she asks you what do you bring to the table, you should already know. So I'm going to provide you guys with a quick update. So what you bring to the table that she's going to benefit from right away, let's see you lead with it. What do you got on the notes there, son?
Oh, so the relationship exchange, what she's getting her is time, energy, affection, resources, and access to your network, which is non-cash resources.
And how did you describe non-cash resources?
So like, well, you said if her sync goes out, then can you call someone on your end to help her? And that my answer was yes, because well, it's there's some plumbers in my circle, not gonna name them, but yeah.
And so that's how you would get this. So that's part of that's a resource though, correct?
That is a resource, yes.
But it's non-cash. So
It's
okay.
non-cash,
So,
yes.
yep. So she gets access to cash, non-cash resources. She gets access to your network. She gets access to your time, your energy.
Let me write cash actually.
Huh?
Let me write cash. Didn't add cash on that. Now it's on it.
Yep. And she also gets access to your personal space. There's going to be a lot of things that's going to go on. She's going to get access to. And in exchange, what are you getting?
Well, if you want to know, it's news and PFP.
News and PFP.
Yes.
And you described the PFP as the potential for Putty Cat, right?
Correct.
So you don't get banned, shadow banned.
Putty Cat is crazy.
So she's going to offer you the potential.
Yes.
The winks and the flirts and the idea that you might get to sniff the back of her kneecaps.
Yeah.
In exchange for these things.
Yeah.
And does that seem like a fair contract?
It doesn't to me. Like it's like there's a lot on my side that she's getting, but she's not offering a lot. Like that's the small thing. That's not a lot of stuff. Like there's only two things like compared to like 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 things.
Right now, for example, let's say that you want a hodgepodge punch. You just decided, oh, I'm not gonna say anything. I'm gonna Travis Hunter marry this chick, right?
Doesn't he? Isn't that like a bad situation for him?
Yeah, and then now you done hurried up, not listening to nobody, and she got it in your mouth, in her mouth, telling you what to do, like using your Johnson like a joystick controller. All she gotta do is put it in your mouth and do this. You know what I'm saying? But now you done ran off, not listened to well counsel and advice. So we're just saying you. Now all of a sudden she wants a divorce. Oh, those acres.
Yeah, no, thinking about it like that definitely puts it in perspective because that's terrible.
Those acres you got there?
She's gonna get half of it if it's not a prenuptial.
Huh?
If it's not a prenuptial, she's gonna get all of it, or like half of it.
Her prenuptial means that you don't love her and planned on cheating from the beginning.
But it's not about not loving her. It's about protecting yourself. Like people don't get that.
No, that prenuptial means that you planned on cheating and you never loved her. You was planning on cheating the whole time. That's why you got
That's crazy.
And you should, and in exchange for liking coochie, cat, you should go for it. Because you gotta come home to an angry motherfucker who don't like you every day.
No, that doesn't sound like the life. That sounds way low
That's how it
budget.
is in the West. These motherfuckers come home to these motherfucking bitter ass. I did it for a while. Come home to this bitter ass motherfucking broad, bro. This bitch is bitter. And she telling you you're insecure and she's bitter. The whole thing is diabolical.
It is. It sounds like it.
Yep. And not just that, but you gotta don't forget. As in the earlier podcast, we talked about that pole vault. Remember?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So that's all plays into it too. When you're doing this, but that's why real red pill dudes are so bitter because they'll never, a female. That's why they're always gonna say, oh, he's sassy, he did because he already went down. You couldn't convince somebody if they went down into a cave and they found out that thing is filled with lava. You're not gonna get them to go back in that cave.
No, you're not. Why would you go back in the cave? It's filled with lava. You're not gonna want to go back in there.
Thus, red pill men, divorced red pill men, they're never gonna go back in that cave. They might go on a tour or expedition, but they're never just gonna marry the cave again.
Oh, that's crazy. What a term, cave. Yeah.
This is the way the world is now. And so you guys have so much to give. You're giving your youth, your time, your energy. She's gonna come to you with problems. She's gonna be like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. And then you'll be like, bum, 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 I'm a superhero. And then when you're all done, she's gonna be like, I didn't just ask you to do that. I just talked about it out loud around you. No one made you go do anything.
Damn. That's toxic, though.
No, it's not.
It's not. You don't think it's toxic?
I know it's toxic. I'm just being sarcastic.
Oh. Yeah, no, you're good. You're all good on that. That is super toxic.
That's what they say, right? Nobody asked you to go do that. You went and did it on your own.
Yeah.
I just was talking about it out loud around you.
Like that's not going to have an influence on you.
What were you talking about it around? And you on the phone with your homegirl. Girl, if you really your man, if you really feeling you like that girl, then he'll go do something. So,
man, what the? And then they're like, oh, we didn't expect you to do it, but like, look at how you're talking about it. That looks bad.
And when you're done doing it, so when you're all done running down the track, crying with tears in your eyes and the pole in your hand, because you want to make it over the Olympic hurdle, so that you can be considered a real man. I can do it. Then once you're done, you're like, wait a second, I'm in Hornswoggle, so then you get back and you hand them the pole, because you want to see them run and do it. They can't do it. The very thing that so these people who can tell you how to be a real man couldn't grab the pole and clear the hurdle and clear the high jump bar themselves. Let that sink in.
Yeah.
You got women out here telling men that they're not men. You can't even do what men do. First of all, a stud is cosplaying as a man.
Yeah.
Nah, but I'm staying warm.
Yeah. No, that's terrible, guys.
And you guys got to think about it, because as young men, you're getting a terrible, you're getting a horseshit deal. You got a woman with no experience with her father telling you how to be a man.
Yeah, no, that's terrible. They should never do that. That looks bad.
What do you mean they should never? They do that all the time.
Yeah, they shouldn't. They shouldn't do it, but they do. Like that doesn't mean that they should do it. That means like
American dating is you're not a real man.
How come?
Somebody who's just got some debt, pussy, and a cracked iPhone.
Huh.
Oh?
Nothing. I know that's low budget. They have no right to determine it. They're not in the, like they're not of status to determine that.
So what is she bringing to the exchange rate? She's bringing some kudakata. She's bringing some stretch pants, and she's bringing more than likely some debt.
Yeah, no. It low-key deters me from wanting to date anyone right now. So it's fine for me to be single. It kind of retains a bit of my purity in a way, like low-key.
Well, that doesn't make it good. I mean, you're just in the wrong culture for what you expect, for what you want to bring. What you're offering, your counter offer is low.
Yeah.
So that's like you coming to somebody with gold, and they're like, yeah, we got this currency that doesn't exist from a country that's not even real anymore.
That's crazy. And that is the thing too.
You're like, I'm gonna keep my gold.
Yeah, that's literally me right now. Let's keep my gold instead of throwing it away for something else.
Wherever you're gonna ask it to, it's worth it.
Yeah. Nope, that's crazy, guys. Stay safe out here. Don't be risking it for the biscuit. Never do that, guys.
I'm so far ahead. All I had to do was put my rank on to speak.
Oh. Nope, guys, we were talking about that today. Figured we'd try, touch right on that because there's content. We're able to make content as of right now, so we're making content. We got lucky enough for one of the laptops to be up, so we survived a little bit of some technical difficulties. So yeah, that's why we're recording it, getting it out to you guys. You may see some gameplay from me. If not, don't worry about it. It'll be in due time. Hang in there, guys.
So let's take it to AI while we're here. Let's go to AI and let's ask the AI what are men getting from women in the Western dating?
Which app? Which AI? You talking about Gemini or Grok or?
Just ask any one of them.
Oh, Grok is kind of like a memer one.
Yeah, what are men getting from women in Western dating?
It might give you an unexpected answer.
Yeah.
An AI overview is not available for this search. Huh. Well, if you go on to Reddit, it's our unpopular opinion. It says Western style of dating is confusing. It says Western style of dating is confusing and counterproductive on our Reddit. What's it saying?
Oh, it's pretty varied, but a lot of guys are saying they're support.
Emotional support. Are you asking Grok?
Y'all gotta understand that
Huh. They gave a pretty good answer, actually. Pretty impressive. Dude, Grok gave me a long answer.
So, and that's another thing too. If you guys gotta remember, there's a break. Like,
yeah.
You gotta understand, Venus flytrap is a lot like the Western relationship. Like, you look like you're coming into it. There's something sticky. Now you're being extracted into your juices.
Something sticky. That's crazy. Man.
now you trapped in the stickiness. Now it's extrapolating. You're extrapolating life.
Yeah.
Literally. And then it gets grows and gets stronger. And that's what, I mean, what happened? Most of the wealthy women in the world came from divorce.
Some of them, yeah. No, that's a good point. Some of them definitely did get their wealth from the divorce because their husband was wealthy. That's
Yeah.
kind of crazy. That's like marrying into money and then like doing it only for the money.
So once you know, once she was done with that, she extrapolated the resources. What did we talk about? What were we just talking about?
We were talking about what women bring to the table versus men.
So
Yeah.
listen.
He said,
So
listen.
how can somebody who wants you to pay for everything want half when they leave?
No, that's a good point actually. That's one of those. That's put on your helmet, guys, because we're doing this all night. That is crazy. They expect you to pay for half, but they also, they want to be independent. They're kind of hypocrites. That's all. That's what it really boils down to. Is their hypocrisy is running rampant, and they need to be stopped. Like Future Trunk said, you need to be stopped. So do the raw level 3 on them. But yeah, that is terrible and tacky. That looks bad, personally speaking. Yeah, guys, it's really like that out here. Some men are really going through that right now. They're becoming more red pilled as they experience their suffering.
And then when you talk about it or you think about it, what you're really looking at, especially, if I got something to say about it, is I married the first woman that kids are with.
Oh,
Those are
yeah,
his
no.
brothers. My son that's on here podcasting with me, those are his brothers and sisters.
Yeah, they are.
So I started with what you're talking about, the thankless work, the grandkids that I don't get to see. Yeah, it gets real.
Yeah,
So
no, it
those
does.
guys, when they're saying thankless work, that's what they mean.
Yeah. No, that is terrible though, because like that, it really is thankless work.
And then I backtrack it the other way. Now my wife that I have now, the children that she have are mine.
Yeah.
So everybody in the house is my kid. No surprises, no funny business.
You said what?
I don't have to deal with those surprises or funny business.
Oh, yeah, no, good point, good point.
Like I buy these new shoes in the Jamaican store in the trash.
Yep.
We get her hair done. And then we cut it off.
Yeah.
What you talking about?
No, that is terrible.
So
That's kind of proof of the
yeah,
part of the way the world works. Now, you can't call them out for doing thankless work. You can never do that. It makes you look bad.
And what is that again? Time, energy, affection, attention, resources. I'm burning resources on.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Time, energy, affection, resources, non-cash resources.
Network.
Yeah, the network. That was what it was, the network.
Access to your network.
Yep.
Non-cash resources. Now in your pocket, in your time.
Yeah, no, that's terrible.
You're gonna owe your guy a favor when he calls you, whatever yours.
Now you're gonna have to pay him a favor to get it all re-squared away because you're a man of integrity and you don't do it like that. So you gotta pay a little bit extra on your end to help her when it's like when all she's offering is like some kudakata. No, she doesn't have money. So all she's got is kudakata.
Precious thing you're gonna have.
Oh.
Your time.
Yeah, your time. Yeah, time.
Your buddy.
Yeah, your time with your buddy.
And that's what she wants.
That is what she wants.
She's already pre-borrowed your time from your buddy. Now your buddy's calling you to come over and help him with his new house after he done helped your friend, your lady friend while you're dating. We just say you're dating. And he helped your lady friend. Now guess who still wants you to come over?
She does.
Snuggle on the couch.
When you owe him time for the time that he put in.
For her.
Yeah. That looks bad. That sounds crazy. Like right off the bat, it sounds crazy.
That's how it really is. You owe him for helping her.
Yeah.
And now she wants to snuggle on the couch. Well, I gotta go to Ben's house. So I'm gonna help him with that project because he helped me with that. Oh, you guys put it up tomorrow. I just want to snuggle and watch the movie. It's raining tonight, and I'm gonna do it my way, regardless of whether you have a man agreement or not.
regardless of if there's a man agreement or not, is crazy, guys. And it's true. There are some women who are like that. There's been some experiences that people can relate to that. That being a
Nah,
thing.
it ain't that they're brain on. It ain't that they ain't narcissistic. They know what they're doing. They're just shitty. This country doesn't have no consequences for being shitty. Being a shitty
Yeah.
woman. They're not gonna. If you do that shit in another country where they got different laws, you're gonna wake up in the morning. There's gonna be some dude taller than me who weighs like 100 pounds more than me, 6'7", like 4 feet. He's gonna have a stick with a piece of leather on it, and they're gonna put the leather strap over your back. They're gonna put a big old piece of cow skin over your back so you don't die. Get infected. But he's gonna stroke the shit out of that cow skin, and you're gonna feel it. He's gonna give you 50 laps. It's called a pound flogging.
Oh yeah, that's some old stuff. The
Man,
the Europeans used to do that actually. They don't do it no more.
They still do it in the Middle East.
Yeah, that's like the only place you'll find it though, because
And
they got different laws and different religion.
Women you can marry that aren't. You can buy a brand new Honda without 67,000 miles.
Yeah. But that's the rules that they got there. It's built different. It's supposed to be built different. That's because they got different rules. It's not like America where we've been like integrating for hundreds of years. So now we're oh this is the way our society is versus a country that doesn't really deal with immigrants has been like been big religiously and like in the Bible and stuff. They got different laws and stuff. They've been around for longer. The Moorish Empire only recently fell like the last 600 years, and they lasted for like 2000 or something. So it's like they got old laws, old rules. They follow their religious texts a little bit more devoutly than we do. So like they got or like it's not even that like because they're still devout religious practitioners, but it's like the rules are different, so they have a different society, which makes that's pretty standard though. You should already know that.
Yeah, the other meanings of flogger.
Yeah.
A torturer, someone who flogs or whips offenders as a form of punishment.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's.
It's also an impact point in the BDSM community.
Yeah. They people got weird fetishes, man.
Right.
Yeah. It's bad. It's like society is going down the drain.
Man? They're corrupting the very dictionary itself.
Yeah. No, yeah, they do. Gooning, flogging, everything's going right down the drain with it, which is kind of terrible, but it's like,
Well,
you know,
the woke people want to control the dictionary, and they did it. And when you're riding down the freeway and the experienced driver's driving, and then the other guy is just mad, and he's mad and thinks he's driving because he's mad. Now you get in the car and you realize it takes way more skill than just being angry about it.
oh yeah, no, that's all fact. You gotta behind the wheel training. You were like with me, you were like, yeah, we gotta get you behind the wheel to make you a better driver. That's nothing new, but it's like, they don't process it like that. They'd be like, oh, we're mad, we're gonna drive like this, swerving into the lanes, almost crashing into people, being terrible. And a lot of life is like that too.
Almost taking out a mailbox.
Oh yeah, that almost happened. That was crazy.
So
That's because there was no behind the wheel experience though. That's why.
that's just the point. So
Yeah.
and a lot of that is like that in relationships.
Yeah.
Women are just angry and they want to take the lead, and it's not gonna work. It's just not gonna work. No matter how you try it, it's just not gonna work. It's
No.
what's the word they like to use? Preternatural.
We're natural. What natural?
Preternatural.
Freak or natural? Never heard of that.
Preternatural.
Oh, freak or natural? Free or natural?
Preternatural.
Creature natural. That's a new term. But no, Grok put up a pretty good. It kind of shocked me that Grok wouldn't be more than a meme, but Elon actually did put a lot of effort into it. So you can be memeing, or you could like.
Is beyond what is normal or natural.
Freak natural. Did you look it up?
Yeah, preternatural. It's the word. I know the word, but I just wanted to.
Freaking natural.
To make sure they understood that I was using it in the correct term, trying to describe why women do certain things. It's preternatural. It's just beyond what is their normal. It's just who they are. You can't even, as much as the blood is pumping through their veins.
Free her natural definition. The Free Her campaign, the phrase is a namesake of a natural campaign founded by formerly incarcerated women. Well, that's not what that. That's a whole different. That's a whole different struggle. That's about people going to jail. Yeah. Well, that's crazy. But nope, guys, you're hearing it from the FatherSon podcast. You know, women got to bring a little bit more to the table because a lot of men are, suffering outright. Women aren't. Women have been coddled in the society based off of the rights that they wanted. Because the rules were different back in the day. Women couldn't vote. Women couldn't, lead roles in like big political activities, but the feminist movement changed a lot of that. So like now, a lot of what would make women, more traditional nuclear women, how like nuclear household women, is now like, it's the ratchet, Cardi B kind of, you know, like to say less, the coup d'etat, like basically, the can't even say it because that's how bad it is. You can't even say it, but feminism changed a lot of the stuff that we have going on, guys. And what you should take away from it is women need to bring women to be more traditional. We need to go back to some of the like we used to have the rule of thumb. That doesn't condone it, but it was like there were standards. If women behaved a certain way, they were treated a certain way. Like they had brothel women, and then they had like traditional like nuclear household women. So like we lost a lot of what made women valuable by the rules that by their own desire to be more free, quote unquote. So it's like it's crazy. It's really crazy to think about it like that. But that's the facts of the situation. No one can take that away from that being what happened.
Yeah, and as you watch, you can see it in front of you. You with your father while you with your mom, see that what it's ridiculous. You know, what was it I did that really ripped her off? I was working too much.
Yeah, you were working too much. That's what she said. She said you were working too much, and she didn't like that. But that was the same reason she fell in love with you. So the reason she fell out of love with you is the same reason she fell in love with you, which is crazy. What you start with is you even said like what you start with is like what you're gonna end with. So if they love you for something, they're gonna hate you for it later, which is crazy.
You live long enough, you start off, and you live long enough, you'll become the hero. You live too long, you'll become the villain.
Or die as a hero, or live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
Yeah.
Who said? What's the Harvey Dent said that in Batman? He said you either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain. Crazy guys. Yeah.
That's Western family, Western wife. You want a Western marriage? You want a Western wife? You want a...
Yeah. No, that's crazy, guys. My background changed again. But nope, that's man.
And you know what?
What?
There's got to be a way. They got to start in high school, figuring out a way to teach these young men that they're valuable.
Relationship counseling classes.
Yeah, you need to learn that you're valuable. Before some chick convinces you as a kid.
Yeah. That's gotta start in like middle school. You gotta start in middle school. Like create like a class specifically tailored only to men. That teach them like, oh, you may not have the coup d'etat, but you're still as valuable as that. Because women are born with their value, but men have to earn their value. So you earn your value when you start off, working a job, doing like attending college classes, getting your knowledge up, getting your talents up. You're acquiring your wealth right there, and you're acquiring your value. But women are born with their value, so that's why traditional women only have one husband. They live with one husband, they die with that one husband, and they're considered a high value woman. But that's the thing, is that the society has changed so much that, like, women have multiple sexual partners, so it kills that whole, what we have as a traditional value of, making women valuable. So there's a lot of devalued women because of what we have values for, but also what society accepted in the past. So now we have a lot of women who are, like, considered lower value because of what our values are. So, like, there's more men. Men are It could be that men are valued more than women because we have different standards for men versus women. But
Men have more to lose.
yeah, men have more to lose. Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah,
While
because
women feel like, losing, having kids, you can't have it both ways. You can't say that having kids is the most beautiful thing that ever happened to you and then turn around and weaponize that shit in court saying that you were abused overnight.
huh?
You can't have it both ways.
No, you can't.
That's real talk. And that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to have it both ways. They're trying to be like, oh, I was just having kids when I was a sex slave, and then when the court's over, and that means no Mother's Day for you, man.
You said that means no mother's what?
No Mother's Day for you.
Oh yeah, no, yeah,
You're saying you didn't want to do it. So why should you celebrate Mother's Day if you didn't want to have the children and you're weaponizing having the children?
yeah. No, that's a good point. That looks tacky. Like, that looks low
It
budget.
doesn't look tacky. It is tacky.
Yeah, it is. It is tacky.
And on Mother's Day, you want gifts, you want worship, you want recognition, you want all these things.
Yeah, no, that's crazy.
And it doesn't work like that. You just said that you were great
Yeah,
and essayed into having kids. So we fix it. You
yeah,
want people to celebrate your essay or your great. That's what Mother's Day is. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
You gotta pick a poison, and that's what it is. Nobody's proofreading these decisions and these thoughts that are coming across these social media platforms, and the guys that are truly proofreading the shit and proofreading it to something meaningful to say are being called haters, incels,
Oh, incels, yeah,
haters, because
yeah.
because you're not going to tell her that she's perfect for having an OnlyFans.
No, she's not perfect for having an OnlyFans.
And
That makes her low. That makes her less valuable.
I don't understand why y'all paying full price when you can see it for $5.99 at home.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. Like you even see that meme of like you ever seen that meme like where they taint the Lion King and they got like he's got like a hipster hat on. He's like, oh, me and no, she does do OnlyFans, but no, we're together, and like it's like, what the hell? What is even going on? Like, it's that bad. It's like, oh no, me and Nala do OnlyFans, and no, she does have another boyfriend, but we're not. It's like, what the hell? That's crazy.
I love it.
But that's calling out the kind of people who do that, because there are people in this world who do OnlyFans like that. They're in an open relationship, and they're dating around, and it looks all bad.
Screamers dude with all the tattoos.
Was he in an open relationship?
I don't know. He went on some podcast, and then they had like some porn star there that his wife was like into.
Oh yeah, no, that looks bad. That's crazy.
But yeah, it recently just happened. It's all in the news. And then she went back for like a second and a third run at the she wanted to see if she could really ride the third leg, the baby leg again.
Huh. Damn. Man, that's crazy. That's crazy. That's awful. A lot of women are like that too. They'll push your boundaries if you don't set them. They'll push you around if you don't, if you let them.
Podcaster, you ain't gonna say corn, but podcaster.
We call it corn. We said it. We're straight up like, oh yeah, it's corn. That's what we call it. We call it corn. Like, if you watch my videos, it's like stop gooning, stop watching corn. But corn is code word. There's all kind of code word. There's grape, essay, corn.
Google it and see if it says podcaster.
Google what?
Wife,
Hold on, let me put it on the screen, guys. You said podcast or what?
His wife.
Oh, whose wife is sleeping with a porn star or corn star?
Yeah.
This is
Adam
the
22.
That's his name?
Yeah, Google Adam 22 and his wife. Yeah.
American YouTuber. You even like if you remember like when you posted that thing on my Facebook where he's like his wife had like he was in a polyamorous relationship and his wife had like a black lover.
Yeah,
Let me try and pull that up on my feed right now, guys. Might require me to log in. Oh no, it loaded up. Yeah, let me play it for you guys because that's what we got going on right now. This is the kind of world that we're in. My feed looked terrible. Oh, here it is. It's right there. Close this out.
United States, and you're like,
Yeah, this is what we got, guys.
to be the president of the United States, and you're like, my wife, right? We're in a polyamorous relationship. The woman that my wife is African American, and like I've learned so much about the struggle that people of color go through as a result of my wife's boyfriend. And so I'm excited to really do my part to show solidarity for my marginalized communities. And the best way to do that is to get the first woman of color to be the commander in chief. And I'm really excited. I'm so pumped.
Wow. Yeah, guys. You guys saw that. That was on the feed. You guys saw it. You know what it is. This crazy out here in this world. Put your helmet on, guys. Multiple helmets. You know, strap up with the Jimmy, but put your helmet on psychologically as well because you're gonna need it. Because we're at war right now, and we got men in the trenches digging these trenches, doing this pole vault in the red pill community. They're becoming red pilled, and they don't even know it. So we're trying to prepare those people who are doing it. And we're trying to prevent more men from having to go through such a thing because that's trauma, you know. Believe it or not, that'll traumatize someone. So yeah, that you guys saw it. You know, he's in a polyamorous relationship, and her husband, and his wife has a black lover. So it's like it's crazy to even think about. There's someone in the world right now who might be playing Elden Ring or something, playing these games or tuning into content. And they're doing that. Yeah, they're getting all the resources.
And the other guy there's laying the wood is getting resources too.
Yeah, from her. So it's kind of crazy, guys. This is the world that we're in. You know, you got to put your helmet on, get ready, strap up because this is the kind of crazy stuff that the world is going to be going through the next like 30, 40 years. Who knows what will be happening? But no, that is crazy. That's very crazy. That's kind of shocking, actually. You know, you guys saw it for yourself, so you know what kind of what kind of party it is. You know, be prepared. Be prepared. Quote the Lion King. To make it even more red pill to link it back to the other thing with the Simba and like Nala doing OnlyFans. So be prepared, guys. Yeah, we're 40 minutes in. That's pretty good. We're doing good. Yeah, but that's crazy. That's can't even describe how crazy it is.
Relationship, my wife has well, what about his resources? Is he still having to pay bills? And now he's not, you know, in exchange for your resources that you're going to give, the bottom line is, in exchange for the resources, you're going to have to learn to admit that you don't want unused food products.
Well, yeah, that's fair.
You want to unuse. I mean, if you feel like that, if you're okay with used food products, why don't you just go to the secondhand shoe store? Why is
There's no. Not a lot of people like that.
Yeah, and that's your foot. That's not even your meat. You're not your meat.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. Yeah, your meat is definitely more sacred than what you think. They call it the fruit of the loins for a reason, guys.
As opposed to your feet.
Yeah.
So you put your shoes, you go and order shoes off the internet, brand new. You're going to be the first one to ever put your stick rose toes in them.
Yeah, my Nike Air Force Ones, yeah, they were the first person to wear them was me.
And now when it comes to a girl, you okay with shit that got a motherfucker you okay with a 1997 Ford Taurus with 300,000 miles on it.
Hell
I
no.
mean, you just would take
Some of them cars be nice, but it's like, not every car is nice.
full price though.
No, full price, no. Hell no. Hell no.
Right. Like that motherfucker new. It ain't even got on the hubcaps on it and the windshield cracked. And you could have paid full price.
No way, man. That's crazy. You got me. You that'd be called. You gotta catch me lacking for that. Hell no.
They are gonna catch you back, and they're gonna offer you PSP.
That is low budget.
The potential for the putty, the potential for the Pudicata.
Yeah.
So the PSP is the sucker move. That's where your SIP gets tested. I might let you touch the Pudicata if you pay all my bills.
Hell no. That's not worth my time.
Oh my God, yes. You gotta pay for my kid's daycare for the night, $100. You gotta get my nails and my hair done. You gotta do it for yourself. How come you're not doing all that for yourself?
Because they
want to take me out. My time. I gotta pay things. No. First of all, where's their dad at? That's the problem. First of all, why are you even talking to a chick with kids?
Yeah, no, that's a good point. Yeah, they'd be looking bad.
And her and that man, and then they need to figure out the best parenting situation. And they need to quit being so selfish. Figure out how they can raise kids.
Yeah.
And be there for them kids.
Yeah. No, that's a good point. Looks terrible. That's crazy work, though, guys. You guys are hearing it first from, the old man. That's super bad. They gotta raise them kids. They gotta do a better job raising their children.
Price, man, for some high mileage ass, man, y'all niggas is wild. But y'all gotta go dating bananas is successful. And you better get out before you get poisoned.
Yeah.
And you gotta understand what you're dealing with. You gotta know what you're asking for, because you gotta have a value system for yourself. Without a value system for yourself, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that's a good point. You gotta have your values in order for you to even know what you want or where you're trying to go in your life, where your direction of your life is leading. You gotta have good values. You gotta know what your values are and have good values in order to even succeed. Because knowing your values isn't gonna really change it, because you might like, gambling. Gambling could be valuable to you, of value, but that doesn't mean that you're gonna win every time. So you gotta have good values, and you gotta know what your values are, guys. And at least speaking for me, gaming is one of my values, and it's gonna require me to find like a gaming chick who's like super nerdy, super chill, but also like, no mileage. Which is like, that's asking for like a diamond, because that's rare. You're not gonna.
You love mileage.
Hell no.
Hell yeah.
Never. Terrible. Mileage is bad, It looks bad, at least even on paper, if you have mileage and you're not with the person who you're, it like our values and our standards have changed so much these last like 50, 60 years. In 1945, the atomic household was much more common. Now it's like it's a rarity. You're not gonna find that too often. Unless you go to like those small rural towns where everyone knows each other, then yeah, you'll find it there. But that's the high school lovers kind of thing. It's a small minority versus the majority of people who have mileage or are into like what's the term? Like into casual stuff. To say the least. So it's a matter of like finding the correct woman for your values, because not everyone is meant for each other, but there are some people who are more likely to be more in tune with you versus not, so yeah, guys, stay safe and
your resources.
Yeah, watch your resources.
Yeah, because you got to think about for you now. That's why I let you do your yapping. But now.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. You got resources. Like already at a young age. More than most grown. You own more acres of land than motherfuckers have worked and sweated 25 years.
Oh yeah, but that's a matter of access versus
25, 30 years they didn't work for the man every day.
Yeah.
And you got more acres than they.
It's not like they can't afford it. It's a matter of access, though. It's like it was like lucky for me.
Access and what you know and who you know.
Yeah, so it was very fortunate for me, very lucky for me.
The direction which your cash was being moved.
Oh yeah, no, that is a factor. Yeah, versus like, spending all your money on like a woman, or versus, investing it because you don't have a woman, which is my situation. It allowed me to invest because there wasn't a woman who was like, oh, buy my nails, do my hair, do this, do that, buy the BBL for me. Hell no. It was like, yeah, so we're going to go to this auction and we're going to vote and we're going to buy the land. It's like, all right, cool. And then we did it. And then we own land from the auction. My business still owns this land. So, yeah. Yeah, that is a big difference, though. When you kind of think about it, it's like a blessing. For me, at least, it's like, wow, you are blessed, to be able to own this land, to be a lord of the land, to be a landlord. It's a blessing.
Yeah, and you gotta want it.
Yeah.
And you can't get mad about it. That's the thing, young men don't be understanding that really be going on.
What's that?
That you can't be doing all that.
Yeah.
And risking your stuff, man, for a quick squirt or two.
Oh, hell no. Yeah, no, that's baseline though. That should be everyone's baseline. Never put what you have at risk or jeopardize it over some like kudakata. You never do that. That's not good.
That's exactly what's gonna happen.
Yeah, that is what be going on.
Help themselves.
Yeah, no, that's true.
As soon as the right one come along, because in your mind, you got an idea of how you want it to look, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you got an idea of how you want it to look, and you're going to be attracted to that. And you're going to have a weak spot in your armor. So can an ugly bitch come up to you and be like, bitch, get the fuck out of my face. An ugly female. But a hot chick she's gonna woo you, she's gonna look the way you want her to look, but you gotta be ready to do the research to see if not just how she looks, but what's the content of her character.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. Yeah, because some women are pretty and they're not good people.
And that's why there's a lot of young men losing their financial resources, losing their hard-earned stuff that they've been working for.
Yeah. No, that's a good point. It's terrible out here, guys. Put your helmet on.
Losing all their hard-earned stuff. I had to switch earbuds every time. Sorry, guys.
Oh, no, that's fine.
Losing all their hard-earned stuff. You see Bill Gates. You see, what's his name?
Oh, Bezos?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Bezos did. He did have to pay his wife half because he was the owner of Amazon. He was super wealthy, and then she got like a few, like 80 million or something. She's sitting on a lot of cash right now.
Yeah, she's wealthy. She's gonna be wealthy. She had no reason to divorce that man except to get that bread, man.
Yeah, because they should have been happy, happily ever after. He had all that cash, She could have like stayed with him and like.
But that's the thing. No amount of money, man. You can't. No amount of money. Once an American woman gets upset, no amount of money, bro.
That's a good point.
No amount of money. And but also you gotta understand, he was going out in public, humiliating her with that young chick, taking her places, getting caught on camera out of the country with her.
Wait, who are you talking about? You talking about Bezos?
Bezos and Gates.
Wait, he was cheating?
Yeah, that's why they just gave him what they have.
Oh. Yeah, you're not supposed to cheat. That's no wonder he lost half of his stuff.
Well,
you're supposed to be like, that's a part of the nuclear family household. Just one man, one woman, and kill like 3 kids. A kid or 2 kids. It's like 1 to 3 kids or something, and like one man, one woman, and like 1 to 3 kids or something like that for the nuclear household. But yeah, that's no wonder he lost all that because he was cheating. And he got caught. It's like that one dude who got caught with that one chick at that baseball game. You remember? Like that was recent. And then like the Simpsons predicted that too. And it was like, how do the Simpsons know all this? Do they have like a psychic for the Simpsons? They got like the crystal ball. They're like, yeah, this guy's gonna cheat on her right here at this place. And they predicted it. They always be predicting stuff. But yeah, no, did get caught cheating. That CEO got caught cheating with some random chick.
And guess what? It's time for him to lose.
Half, half.
Resources, baby.
Yeah, half. Yeah.
So now here's an option. I'm gonna throw this out there and others. Don't get married on U.S. soil.
Yeah. That would change it though. That would be one good way to do it because the rules are different.
And so you can come here and report as a husband and wife, but you're not married under U.S. law.
Yeah. No, that's a good point.
Wife under your home country law.
Yeah.
So I would suggest that you go to the country that does not, reflect the U.S. legal system for marriage.
Japan would be a good one.
Trinidad, somewhere far off. Go somewhere where you're not going to pay the price for love. The love, American love, is going to pay the price.
Expensive. It's very expensive.
Oh, expensive ain't the word.
Excuse me.
It's going to make you cry for your mother when it's over.
Excuse me. Yeah, no, that's a good point. It is super expensive and pricey. It's dicey too. It's not worth your time, guys. Don't be a fool. Had to hit it with a quick little rhyme. Don't be a fool. Yeah, don't be a fool. Don't be foolish, guys. Be smart.
Yeah,
wrap it up to Jimmy. Wrap your helmet up.
At the end, to sum it up, to go back to the beginning and to try to tie it all together, because we were all over the place. But the main point we were trying to focus on was protecting your resources.
Yes.
Work for. So your time, your energy, your attention, your affection, your
let me pull up because it's written down.
Network and all non-cash resources are things that you bring to the table as a man.
Yeah.
That buddy you got that's good at this because you're good at that to help him and he helps you. That's a resource.
That is a resource.
To that. And so you guys have to understand that that's what you bring to the table, and you got to get something of value. And what is it she can really bring to the table?
Her innate value that she's born with.
You want a pass, no pass. You don't want to be sitting down with steak and eating a steak at a fancy restaurant, and some guy comes over to you and is like, yeah, I rub it on your teeth. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's a good point.
Enjoy your steak.
Or it's like they've eaten a little bit of the steak already too.
You're not going to enjoy her anymore after he comes over and tells you he gets to fold her like origami.
No, you're not.
That's fun, bro.
Yeah, that's cooked.
And then, so when he walks off, now what's the new conversation?
It's that. It's the elephant in the room that can never be addressed because it's happened. Yeah.
When did he fold you?
Yep.
Huh?
No, that's true. That's literally what it is.
The past is the real money. That's what you guys don't understand. The past. How many?
I had to turn my phone volume up. Yeah.
How many times has she ridden
the carousel?
Yes.
The carousel of having multiple sexual partners.
How many times has she got on the meat carousel?
The meat carousel, guys. The meat carousel is crazy. Yeah, but no, that's what you want to like, because like that naturally comes up in conversation too. Is like, how many bodies do you have?
Now we're talking about all that stuff that you've been yapping about, pair bonding.
That's the thing. That's not like me making it up. That's a real thing. Like, there's science behind that.
I just said you were yapping about it.
Yeah.
It's a real thing. Yes, and now you're talking about it, but that's part of what you got to give for resources. You got to give resources to somebody that has pair bonded with two other people, and this motherfucker is mildly insane.
Yeah. Because they got all that semen running around in their brain. Because it bonds with you chemically. Like, you guys got to think. Fruit of the loins is called fruit of the loins for a reason, guys. There's no reason. Like, even if you read like Journey to the West, they call it spirit, sperm, and breath. So you practice your breath, you practice your spirit, and you retain your sperm. But when you use it, you're supposed to be creating life. So like, you guys are underestimating how powerful retention of like seed is. You guys don't know how powerful seed can be. So like, when all these women are sleeping around with these dudes having multiple children, they're pair bonding with these men, and they're bonding with them in a unique fashion that was supposed to be sacred. But they're doing it casually now, and so like, they're all messed up because the traditional standards aren't there, and they're having the chemical effect of it. So it's like, it's a double whammy, guys. People don't understand how serious that can be, how serious that is. That's why he called me a yapper for it, because it's like, it's a lot to take in on that.
It is, and
yeah.
That's what you and to make it real simple, That's what you're paying.
Yeah, that's what.
Think about it.
Yeah.
When you go overseas and you see those dudes paying that dowry.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're paying for the, for that.
She's paying to be the first one
Yeah.
to disrobe her. Other
Correct.
than her mom and her dad bathing her, and nobody else ever seen that motherfucker hairy, snatched, naked.
No, yeah. That's why they pay dowries, guys. That's not even Capper. That's not him being funny or lying or nothing. That's all fact. So, yeah.
The dowries have saved all the other civilizations. But in the Western civilization, there is no dowry. We had a version of it first, a pretty good version, and it worked pretty good for our race. We were marrying in the high 90s. It was called courting.
Oh, courting. Yeah, courting works pretty good because it's like the main way to do it.
Dowry exchange, but the family, your mom and dad came over to their mom and dad's house for dinner. Then their mom and dad came over to your mom and dad's house for dinner, and hey, if everything worked, you guys got to keep dating.
Yeah, that was a good point there. That's why Romeo and Juliet is such like a big story because like they were courting each other and they fell in love, but their families didn't approve because the one was a Capulets and one was the what the hell was the other one? Capulet and it was Romeo was a Capulet. Let me look it up. Capulet.
Talking about Romeo and Juliet?
Yeah, Capulet and Montague. Montague and Capulet. Yeah, that's what it was. The Capulets and the Montague. Montague's French, guys. And Capulet, who knows? They might have like some Romanian, some Roman, touch of Roman because of like English is a hodgepodge, so like we got a hodgepodge of people as well. But yeah, it was the Capulets and the Montagues. That's why courting didn't work because their families didn't approve. So like when we talk about courting, we're like there's a lot of historical significance of it. Like from Romeo and Juliet to simply like a lot of famous people who, or not even famous people, but people who have followed this courting method to not yap so much. So.
Yeah, and that was the way. That was the way for both parties and all equitable parties involved to protect resources for support.
Yeah.
And her chastity.
Yeah, chastity. That's what it's called, guys. We're talking about women women need to be a little bit more, they need more chastity. Not chastise. Chastise is a similar word, but it means a whole different thing. But chastity is like.
Bring it up on the screen for chastity.
All right, give me a second, guys.
It would solve a lot of this single mother problem we're having. The epidemic in white communities, in all Western communities, there's an epidemic of single mothers.
Wow, overview is good.
Single mothers like that. You'll find single mothers in Arabia and South Somalia, but the husband died.
Yeah. So it says, yeah. No, that's a good point. That was even my perspective on it too, but that's all fact. So it says chastity is the virtue of maintaining control and integrity over one's sexual thoughts, desires, and actions, often as a religious or moral discipline. In many Christian traditions, chastity means refraining from sexual activity outside of a valid marriage, requiring one to align their heart, mind, and body with God's teachings on sexuality. It is considered a spiritual discipline distinct from abstinence, which focuses on behavior, and celibacy, which is a state of life. So if you have good chastity, it's not like you're not sleeping around. And it's not like you're, hold on, let me pull that back up. It's not like you're not sleeping around, and it's not like, like you're being a virgin, or you're purposely abstaining from it. It's that you're doing it properly. Yeah, you're doing it when you're married. You're doing it properly as by Christian doctrine and Christian law. They would cut your head off for this kind of stuff back in like the Dark Ages. Like 1600s, you sleeping around, you're a brothel whore.
More like
burned at the stake for practicing witchcraft and being unfaithful to her husband. Yeah, no, yeah, that's crazy, guys.
She made a potion. I was tricked.
It's on the screen, guys.
Oh my God. And the next thing you say, because he wanted to keep his wife and kids, and couldn't admit that he drunk in the tavern. So
yeah.
But that's another, that's going to tie into the savageness, and I think that there's a whole podcast we're going to do on European sexual savageness.
That would be quite a. We'd have to write down what we're going to bring to that because that's a good topic.
Well, that would all we start with talk about slavery, conquest, and rape, you think of the Crusades as a Christian thing, but Dante really showed that movie Dante's Inferno really got down into the history and showed how they were really acting then, who was doing what to who, and they were taking the women. And it was brutal.
Oh yeah, that's why there's 7 circles of heaven and hell, guys. There's 7 heavenly virtues and 7 deadly sins.
But that's like I said, that's another talk. We're mainly focused on keeping your resources.
Yeah, resource-based dating.
Yeah, well, that's what it is now.
What do you think the title should be for this one?
Which is a fancy word, and I'm going to argue in closing that this resource-based dating is really more of a fancy word for prostitution.
Really? Trying to think, because like you always, it's not like you've indoctrinated me, but it's me like trying to think, like to like wrap my mind around like what your logic is, because it's not like you're usually incorrect. You're usually quite reasonable.
I mean, that's what prostitution is.
Oh yeah, no, that's a good point. Yeah.
If you have the funds.
Yeah, you gotta put something up to get something. That's like, they call that transactional too, guys. It's called being very transactional. It's often frowned upon, when you're trying to build like close, intimate relationships with people, to be good friends or to be like, closer than like acquaintances. It's often frowned upon when you're being very transactional. So that's a whole nother like can of worms. But
well, that's not really. It's tied in.
It is tied in.
It is tied in directly. It's not a whole nother can of worms. It's just a deeper layer.
Yeah.
And to really just to cover it quickly, you nailed it. But to add on to it, that's really what prostitution is,
in essence of it. No, that's true.
Sex work is transactional.
It's very transactional.
And so, if what you're saying is that we're doing resource-based dating, and the dating is transactional, that means you're using your resources.
It's borderline prostitution. That's why you're saying it's prostitution,
you're
because
your resources to pay for dating. If it's resource-based dating, and it's dating on financial-based thing, you're paying for it.
Yeah. No, that's terrible, guys. This is all like backed up by fact. If you look into it, you can really like, if you can find other podcasters or people who are doing content, you'll find it. They'll be like, yeah, the dating market is messed up. Like if you think about
breaking it down to what it is, to say that resource-based dating is just a fancy word for prostitution, a fancy word for sex work.
It is. Because sex
work for just you.
No, that's crazy.
Yes.
That is what they're doing, but that's a terrible trade, actually, and that's not even in my opinion. That's like fact. That's factually like how terrible it is. But yeah, because that in essence that is what it is. You're putting up resources for her to give you some coup de cata. But the coup de cata is like you're paying for the coup de cata. So what do prostitutes do? You pay for the coup de cata. So in one form or another, you're paying for coup de cata, guys. So stay celibate. Retain your seed. Work on yourself. Be better. If you're contracting, work on them houses. Build them houses. Focus on you. So that way, when you're focusing on someone else, you're perfectly squared away. So that way you have less to worry about, guys. It's called being consistent. Consistency is its own reward, so. Yeah.
And so in closing, gentlemen, just remember that it's time, energy, attention, resources, and
affection.
Networking. If all of that stuff is going on, sorry guys.
Time, energy, affection, network, resources.
So
get something good out of it.
Dating,
yeah.
That means that those are the things that you got to give up.
Yeah.
In exchange for what? TSP?
Yeah, no, that's not worth it, guys. Paying for coup de cata. Or potential for coup de cata. Coup de cata being code, of course. Coup de cata. Crazy.
Well, that's it for me, y'all.
Yeah, that's it from the FatherSon podcast. Thank you guys for tuning in. Like the video if you liked it, dislike it if you didn't. Comment down below for more topics or what you want to see. We'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.